Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, world. And good morning, America. Today is November 1st, 2018. And I want to talk to you guys today about bare bones. This is a new series that I'm going to be doing. It's designed to help anybody that's missing certain things in life like I did and get you on the fast track as fast as possible towards becoming a greater American, becoming a better American, and being a better, I don't know how it works in other countries if you can hear English, but it works. I believe it works here. First things first, because I didn't really have a lot of people to show me this stuff. Your parents may not always show you this stuff. You would be awestruck at the amount of people that don't have the basics. And I think that's what's hemming up a lot of people, and it's preventing us from being a more prosperous nation. The first thing, a lot of you low-income kids and a lot of these people out in these rural areas, they don't have one of the first things. The first thing you're going to need, if you're 18 or even if you're 16, this is when you start going out into the world, you're going to need a little something called a ID or a driver's license. And it's got to be state issued. All right, you can have a military ID, you can have a state ID, but you would be surprised at how many people I know, they don't even have an ID. Now, here's where things get tricky. In order to get an ID in America, you have to have two proofs of identity. And a lot of parents, especially the low-income ones, or at least how I was raised, they do a piss poor job at teaching you the importance of these documents. And they get lost, they get shuffled around. You've got to have a place. You need a social security card, and you need a birth certificate to get one of these. Now, you'll go to your Social Security Administration. I don't care. I know it's a pain in the butt. Wherever you are, if you don't have one of these things, I don't care what you're doing. Stop this video right now. If you do not have a state-issued ID, a birth certificate, or a Social Security card, and you are in America, just go ahead, stop the video right now, go on to Google, and figure out how to get this. Google's going to be your best friend through this. You've got to get this document, because otherwise you go to apply for a job, you go to apply for school, you go to do anything. I mean, you could technically go to jail for not having an ID. Next thing you're going to want to get is, a wallet. It's not necessary, but, growing up, I wasn't taught the value of money. I think a lot of poor kids, I don't know, depending on how all y'all are raised, but they made all the purchasing decisions for me, and it really fucked me up when I got out of the gate. I mean, I was literally set up for destruction. It's taken me 30 years to get to this point, and I've ruined a lot of my life in the process. So a wallet is going to help you keep things organized. Organization is going to be key. You've got to find a way to stay organized. This is something they don't teach you. And it's something that you're going to have to do some deductive reasoning. What is deductive reasoning? Without getting too carried away, it's learning by association. If you're in school, if you're in class right now, let's say, you're a teenager or in grade school, look at, you might catch some flack or some static about it, but look at, without being too nosy, check out your peers' notebooks, see how they organize their stuff. And you'll notice some people are more organized than others. You're going to want to try to get more organized. I've heard it said from some professors, more organized students, that can make the difference between two letter grades. And there's a lot of people that say letter grades aren't important. That's bullshit. It should be important to you. And, if you don't get too hard on yourself, but you need to work hard. to get the best grade you can get. Like I said, okay, ID. Once you got your ID, your social security card, all that, let's say you're 18, or let's just say, heck, you're 30 or 40 years old. There's a lot of older people that kind of got lost behind, and they're just now checking out the internet. It doesn't matter what age you are, don't let that get in the way of the facts. Get these documents. Once you get these documents, if you are at the bare bones, if you are at the bottom of the bottom, I know a lot of people see me here and they think I'm sort of a prima donna. I've worked a lot. I've done a lot of different jobs, and I want you to consider a trade. This is something that my dad taught me, and I didn't really pursue a trade, and it's biting me in the butt today. I know seems stupid, but this is a claw hammer. You would be amazed at how many people in America do not know how to drive a nail. And I thought I knew how to drive a nail. People would say, man, that's stupid. I know how to drive a nail. There's not a lot of people outside of the construction industry that really know how to drive nails. I'm talking about driving nails professionally. When I did some construction work, and I was ashamed, doing drywall. I mean, it takes 20, 30, 40 hours, depending on who you are, of experience. And I'm talking about dealing with some pretty tough stuff to learn how to drive nails. That's hand driving nails. And there's a couple different types of hammers. This is the neat thing about if you're getting into construction trade. I know a lot of people don't like construction. I like construction. I just, you may find, trouble with people, but it will build your character. These are two types of hammers. So consider this the next step up. Once you get your ID, once you get your, license and all that together, this is the next step in your personal quest. I'm not here to preach to you. I don't know who you are or why you're watching me, but I want you to have a personal quest. All right? The operation, as far as I know, is Make America Great Again. I live in America, and our president, he's a very good president, and each one of us has a job to do, and we got to be the best people we can be. We owe it to the world, so that's something to look at. This is a tool belt. Now I know when I first put on this tool belt, see, I wasn't able to work a lot, and as a kid, you kind of look at it like a superhero, and I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of felt like a superhero. I was proud. There's a lot of people that don't have jobs, and they don't have opportunities, in a lot of countries where they don't have the freedoms we have. They don't have the opportunities, and it takes guts. Construction, I'd like to see more women. I'd like to see more, peace in the construction industry. People that work well together. I've had some issues with people. I find that's the toughest thing is communication. Working with your bosses, tempers flare up, but that's a whole nother subject. We're not going to get into that. This is a tool pouch. I've heard of some people, they sold their tools. I've been out of construction a while, but I always keep my tools. Always keep your tools. You never know when you're going to need them. I heard a guy say, always have something to fall back on. Don't think that you're too proud to do a job, because when pride comes before the fall. I'm not saying that. Try to put your heart in. If you know you can do better and you're not, dig deep inside and see what you can do, and follow the quest, because to get this whole little media lab get up, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of fighting, and I want you to believe that you could do anything in America that you put your heart into and you work hard. So here's the tools and the gloves. That'll be your next step. And another thing, measurements. If you're really young, you'd be surprised at how many people don't even know how to measure. 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Now people say, Tyler, I know how to do that. But really, when you look at master construction workers, these people are insane with a tape measure. I'm talking about these guys can whip it, they can move it. These guys keep it all up in their heads. They're like human calculators. These guys can walk into a room and they can calculate square footage just by the distance of the beams. And it's a beautiful thing. It's something that I don't think there's ever going to be a shortage of. I know there's a lot of talk about the robots, and there is some truth to that, but I think that there's never going to be a shortage for tradesmen that are really skilled in their craft. Another thing I want to talk to you about, if you don't have a job and you have an internet connection, I want you to focus on using your computer, using your smartphone, not for fucking up, but for educating yourself. And to do that, I want you to go, keep it real simple, go to this site called edX, EDX. This is a site I've gone to, and the courses that they offer, they're not no BS courses. This stuff is pretty intense. I haven't completed one. I've worked on a number of them, and I've passed through them, but you would be amazed at the amount of knowledge you can pick up and the amount of inspiration you can pick up as to what career paths. I know that when I was in school, I've been out of school for a while, and I've been trying to get back into school, but I go to these trade seminars. People, they don't know what they want to do with their lives. And I remember when I was a teenager in school that I knew I wanted to be a meteorologist, but there was a lot of things in the way. Just because you have that dream, don't forget your passion, but be open. You may see something that you never thought you could see before. And to get into some of those fields, which, we're talking about transition into the new economy, Dr. Lauder in there, we'll talk about it. There's a lot of jobs that don't even exist yet. So get on there and look at some of those things. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve my speaking and how I can better serve you, let me know. Put in the comments below.